Is that a bag full of condoms or condoms? Oh wow, magnums, so you like it big. How do you know that?
SAR Experience.
Привет and welcome back to Odessa Mama in Ukraine on the shores of the Black Sea, and welcome to another Vodka Vodcast with me, Connor Klein. This is the SAR Experience, and in today's Vodcast I have a really quite comical and funny and educative video. We are going to review a pickup video from a famous Russian-American YouTuber. Vitaly is his name. You might have seen him on some other prank videos he's done. Like he has one about, I don't know, gold digger or something, and he's driving around in a sports car and the girls don't realize he has a sports car and then they change their attitude as soon as he has it. Those kind of prank videos. He's not a pickup artist per se. He doesn't run a pickup company. He's not a professional dating coach, and that's what makes this video really interesting to analyze. I've done two previous vodkas. They're actually the last two in the channel, so if you've missed those, definitely go and check them out. I'm going to have them below in the description to the video. Links to that also up on cards. Should be appearing somewhere up on the screen right now. And go look at those probably before you watch this one, because it's a series of three videos where I analyze, I break down the strategy and effectiveness of three pickup videos. The first one was with James Marshall, and he is a professional dating coach, and you see how he got on trying to seduce a Russian redhead. Then the second video was with Adrian G. Adrian Gruszka is his name. He has a Polish name. I believe some of his family is Polish. He even speaks a little bit of Polish. I saw in the other videos, not the one I reviewed. And that's going to become a little bit more relevant in this video because Vitaly is actually Russian-American. Of course, he speaks Russian as well as perfect English. And you're going to see how he gets on. Adrian G didn't do too badly, I have to say. Go check that out. And he's kind of in between. He does have some sort of dating course, whatnot, but he's basically doing more of what Vitaly's doing, which is a lot of viral videos where it happens to be pranks or whatnot. And then today we're going to the third in the series of the three-part series, and this is definitely a very entertaining one. You've probably almost certainly seen videos on YouTube from Vitaly. So he is a Russian-American YouTuber. He was born in Russia. He says he was born in Murmansk in the north of Russia, up in the Arctic, and he actually lived here in Odessa when he was a child. I read he's a little bit of a piece of his biography. So interesting, he was actually here in Odessa Mama before he moved to Florida. And he's quite an entertaining character, and he goes and does this video not because he wants to show that he's a great pickup artist or he's able to seduce women by just going over and talking to them, but he's just doing basically clicks. In the business he's known as in entertainment it's called being a click whore. Basically you're trying to get as many clicks as possible, so he has been very successful in getting many people to click on these videos. That's what he's built his whole business out of. And there's a very interesting point we'll be diving into when I start to analyze it, which is the fact that he's not really that interested in picking up the girls, and you see how that helps him. So let's get into analyzing today's video.
Увидел, что ты на меня смотришь, и я подошел. Как тебя зовут?
Юля.
Виталий, приятно познакомиться. Что? Что?
Как тебя зовут?
Виталий, как тебя зовут?
Юля.
Я уже забыл. Юля? Такая красивая, что я уже так забыл. Даже не, я шучу. Ты не красивая, ты hasta la vista.
So here you see in the first video, like he's broken up into little clips. We don't see if he went and talked to 10 girls before he got a good reaction or not. But see, it's quite entertaining and quite funny. He's not taking himself too seriously. He's speaking in Russian, and obviously they added the subtitles for the viewer here on the screen. But you see, there isn't that much logic. It's kind of fun and playful. Basically, I've gotten your name already. Because then he makes it funny with, makes it kind of a compliment by saying, because you're so beautiful, hasta la vista. None of it makes sense, but yeah, that's pretty good to keep things reasonably illogical. So let's see how this one goes.
Давай номер рекламы обменяемся. You can put your number in my phone.
Пожалуйста, не говори.
Чего? What? You can speak English? You don't understand anything? You look like you're going to a cemetery in all black.
So there you see how he actually uses the fact that he's Russian-American. I mean, he doesn't have a foreign accent in Russian when he speaks, as far as I can hear at least, so it's not significant. And he suddenly switches to English to kind of mix it up, which kind of seems to discombobulate her a little bit additionally as well, but she's having fun, she's enjoying it, and it doesn't seem like she's super confident at trying to speak in English, but there you go. The value automatically being able to speak decent Russian, at least you can have those conversations and then use English to your advantage when you want to mix things up. Then he makes a joke about her, like she's on the way to the cemetery. So he kind of mocks her a little bit. She didn't get, obviously, I'm assuming the joke about she's gone away to the cemetery, but again, he's not really trying to impress her or anything. Also, he didn't ask her questions when he wanted to exchange contacts, but he just said, okay, let's connect, let's exchange numbers. You can put your number in my phone. He didn't ask questions, please, 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 please. Give me your phone number. I really, really want to see you. You're so important. In contrast to maybe the first video I reviewed in the series, and you can see how that got even more complicated with logistics. He obviously has a working phone where he's able to connect her. He's actually just going for the phone number. He's not going for Instagram or something like that. I mean, he's a big prankster, so maybe that makes sense for him. But he also doesn't really care if the girls meet him again. So he's very lighthearted in how he's doing things. So pretty good so far. You can see the reaction. She's enjoying it. She looks interested in him.
Хватит.
What? I'm teaching you English. You can speak English really good.
And also, you see, I'm teaching you English. Remember in the first video, James missed an opportunity to play the English tutor. Vitaly doesn't need her to be doing the exam or anything. He's just like, boom, I'm going to teach you English. So again, using that pretty well.
Okay, here we go. Okay, мы вечером встретимся. Ну, когда ты хочешь.
Ну, напишешь, хорошо?
Не, я не пишу.
Что?
Ты первая напишешь.
Ну, ты мне напиши свой номер телефона.
Wow, Russian girls are so easy. I'm just getting numbers left to right. This is crazy. This is awesome. Now we can bang tonight. Awesome. Приятно познакомиться. Bye.
So there you see, he flipped the script, made it about her writing him, which is not the norm here in Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus and Eastern Europe at all. But again, he doesn't really care. So it's pretty good energy. By the way, obviously the most important step in any of this analyzing of day game or street pickup is the fact that, and it doesn't have to be on the street, it's just in general, all three of these guys are doing what 95% of guys will never do. That's just go over and talk to a pretty girl, a girl they're attracted to, outside of some socially acceptable, more socially acceptable environment like a bar, drunk or something like that. And that's actually the biggest step. And all three of them, I give them huge kudos for going and doing that, because if you don't do that, then you haven't even gotten started. You just watch the opportunity go by. But there you go. That's one of the best interactions that I've seen in the 3 videos for sure. Energy great.
Hi, this is my first time in this city. What's the directions to your house?
So there he opens in English as opposed to opening Russian. I actually did this kind of video myself before. Again, up above in a card, down below in the description. You haven't seen that. It's we went around St. Petersburg. We went with another dating coach, James Tusk, and he walked me through it, and I had a blast doing it. I actually went over and made 5 approaches in English and 5 approaches in Russian just to see how it would go in St. Petersburg. But here you see he's opened in English, and he's made a bit of a ridiculous statement, but it is a funny video.
Directions to what?
To your house.
My house?
Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you
What are you
too.
doing here?
So that's what here was my job interview. So
You got fired?
no job interview.
Oh, for what? Are you casting for
so
porn?
Well, here the girl's English seems to be quite good. She has said that she's been at a job interview. She's actually there for a hotel job interview, so she probably needed the English for the job. And he's just taking the piss out of her, taking the mickey out of her basically all the time. You know, first of all, opening it like, what's the directions to your house? I mean, it's just ballsy, and yeah, it's funny at the same time. Obviously, not to be taken seriously. But there you see, it's illogical. There's no, he's not ashamed. He's saying it confidently. His body language is pretty good, I would say as well. Although he has his hands down here across his belly or his crotch. Probably could be a bit more open maybe with his body language. That's just a small critique, but always very good. And he's getting a good reaction, even though he said something completely illogical. Like what I would see with a lot of guys who aren't that confident or that experienced, they would go over, like the worst is to go over and say, can you tell me how to get to X, right? A real thing like the train station, and make it look like you're a lost tourist. It's better than saying nothing, like in all of these approaches. I mean, the fact you even go over, even if you say something that lame, Still, it's better than saying nothing. At least you went over, so I'm not going to condemn someone for that. But it's pretty weak because obviously you're not a lost tourist most of the time. And she will take it as if you're not really hitting on her. And then it will get a little bit weird when you try to. But here he's just being ridiculous from the start, but making clear that he's interested in with his jovial and joking manner. So very good, very funny so far. And effective.
What?
Like a receptionist in this
Ah.
hotel. So
Окей, может я просто в Америку вас заберу, и вас не нужно будет работать никогда. You speak English really good or no?
yeah, I speak English. Really
So if I
good.
take you to the Everglades and throw you to the alligators, you'll be happy with that? Or
So
I love this. He's basically going to make her qualify herself about her English in a very good way, because obviously he speaks Russian and then he mixes it in with the Russian and then jumping back into English and saying something pretty outrageous that, you know, as a non-native speaker, the Everglades are in Florida and there's alligators in them. Been there myself, in fact. And most non-native speakers or someone who's never been to America probably wouldn't understand, but he's used that to his advantage. She probably feels assuming she doesn't understand that, she's a little bit disorientated by it and probably going to try and qualify herself.
okay, well, I wanted to hang out if you want to hang out. Is that okay if I get your number?
here was my job interview, and I'm in shock right
Well,
now.
good luck. I hope they call you back.
I don't know.
They're gonna call you back. You seem like
Yeah,
a good girl.
You can call me back.
Oh, here.
Okay.
So there, you see, it wasn't super strong, it seems, when he gave the phone, but still, he didn't ask her, please, can I have your phone number? So already not looking needy, and that's the whole thing. He's not needy at all. He has the same body language in all the videos with his hands crossed. I'm not sure why he does that. That would be the only thing so far. Everything else, I mean, he's pretty stellar. Pretty good, pretty cool. And he's mixing up into language. Oh, I love that. This is, once you master Russian, this is the way to do it. Because one thing that I've heard from other, we'll say, professional dating coaches or pickup artists who don't, nearly all of them don't use Russian when they come to this region. And they don't focus on this region, is they say, I can just use English. The girls will basically want to qualify themselves. Yeah, but if you speak Russian, you can always pull it out. You don't actually have to speak in Russian all the time, as long as you can be confident and dominate the conversation in this way, like as in lead and direct it. Oof, it's so powerful. But you have to invest a lot of time, obviously, to get to that level with Russian. I will, as a slight digression from the video, I will be developing a Russian language option for you in the coming months. Just getting started on it here. As obviously, you can see, I haven't been traveling. I'm still in Odessa. So going to be working that in the next few months. But more about that at the end of the video. Let's see how he gets on.
Дела.
По делам? По каким делам? Можно не знать дела. Я тоже бизнесмен, так что мы можем поделиться делами.
Иди познакомиться или что?
Hi, yeah, I'm Vitaly. I'm here for a couple days. I need some friends.
Конечно, ты по-русски совсем плохо говоришь.
Yeah,
So there you see, he's made a deliberate misunderstanding. Like basically, she said, "Are you trying to get to know me?" He said, "Oh yeah." He didn't even see. Yeah, he just introduced himself. He made it seem like that was part of it, that it was natural. Again, there doesn't have to be any logic. He's made assumptions. He didn't ask her questions. Just assume she's a businesswoman. It doesn't have to be the case at all. Very good. Very good.
чуть-чуть.
Виталий.
Я знаю, я родился в Мурманске, вырос в Америке. Это мой первый раз в Москве.
И я назову. Еще раз познакомься.
Мы вечером погуляем.
Ну, хорошо.
Можно у вас номер взять?
8 929. Звони.
There he did ask for the number, but I think he had so much perceived value with the interaction, it didn't matter whatsoever.
Okay, I want. You're funny. Okay, give me a hug. So you speak good English or no?
But
So if I eat you for dinner tonight, you understand what I'm saying? Or like bend you over?
я с собой возьму подругу, она хорошо говорит по-английски. Хорошо?
Okay, so I'll bend you over. That's what it means. Okay, see you.
So, yeah, what to say? Very good interaction. Also, he's maintaining some physical contact with her, with kind of the long shaking of the hand, building sexual tension. Maybe he overplayed a little bit in English, because then she got a little bit worried that he might speak a lot in English to her and said, I'll run along the front. Don't see why you would want that, in particular if you're going on a date.
I thought you were pretty, so I think we should just cut everything and just get married.
What is your name?
My name is Jason, but aka Vitaly, aka Zdorovetsky, aka Russian and Out Lover, aka The Line, aka I'm gonna eat you so good tonight, aka you don't even know what's gonna happen to you. Maybe we can grab a coffee or something, and then everything's gonna be alright.
Okay.
Want me to call you? Ты хочешь, чтобы я тебе позвонил later?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I'm gonna marry you. Как вы звать, кстати?
Наталья.
Улыбайтесь. Это как красиво, когда вы улыбаетесь, а когда не улыбаетесь, некрасиво.
So there he deals with what a lot of guys call resting bitch face, which is pretty common in Eastern Europe. The fact that she doesn't smile, and he just makes fun of her, basically makes it playful. Yeah, you look ugly if you don't smile. And he gets a laugh and a good interaction. So, and this is how you deal with these things. Very good.
Put your number.
Давайте я ваш номер запишу.
Это значит, ты мне не позвонишь,
Нет,
интересно.
я дозвонку.
Хитрая?
Это по-деловому, это правильно.
А что это по-деловому? Вы меня боитесь? Вы боитесь, что я вас украду?
Говорить с нами.
If you don't call me, you're gonna miss a good time. You're gonna miss a good doggy style bang. You're gonna miss good deep throats. You're gonna miss a lot of good things. I would have ate you out like a baby would eat a milk bottle. А эта сумка просто
Это
так?
просто так, да.
Is that a bag full of condoms or condoms? Oh wow, Magnums, so you like it big. I didn't know that. That's awesome. Oh, no. Hello? Oh, you're the one that likes big cock. Oh, okay, I'll call you later. That's fine. Thanks. Приятно познакомиться.
Okay, that one. Obviously, all the sexual innuendo. If she understood it, well, probably she would not be so cool with it. So they're a bit cheeky. I don't recommend that per se. I think it's high risk. But again, he doesn't care whatsoever. If the girl tells him to F off, he's going to be like, so what? I'm doing this to have content for obviously his YouTube channel. So that is actually a good way to think about it. Also, when I did this video with James Tusk when we walk around St. Petersburg, I was also completely free of outcome because as far as I'm concerned, just creating content for my YouTube channel for you and also for James's. So really, if all the girls told me go away, why would I care? It's not going to affect me one iota. So that is a very good way to be. And you see that, maybe just tone it down on the sexual innuendo. But yeah, again, they don't understand him very well, so I guess he gets away with it.
New York.
New York? I'm from Miami, and I live in California. But let's speak English. You need practice. This is good practice for you. All right, come on.
Come on.
Give me your number, and then I can blow my Sputnik over your face, because you're so beautiful. А тебе кто-то говорил, что ты как красивая, как пельмень. Как вкусно. Не красивая, как пельмень, а как вкусно, как пельмень.
So there you see he's been using the fact that he is American or Russian American pretty well. He's making himself more interesting. He's playing on that. The cities, whatnot, also pretty strong. Adrian G did that a little bit about being Australian. So remember, this is the way to have the killer combo. You know, mix the real man mindset of a Russian with the more playfulness of being from the West.
Нужно бежать.
Okay.
Тебя как зовут?
Vitaly.
Как?
Vitaly. Vitaly.
А по-русски скажи.
Vitaly.
Вот. У тебя вообще нет акцента на русском. Сделай мне дозвон, да.
Ты хочешь дозвон, ты хочешь, чтобы тебе 100% мой номер был, да, все?
У меня когда
Дед,
плохое настроение, я не беру трубки. Я когда хорошее тоже не беру.
А чего ты не берешь, когда у тебя плохое настроение?
Ну потому что бывает. Вот так,
Недостаточно сексом занимаешься. Это плохо.
нормально все.
Give me your hand. Give me your hand.
So again, he has the balls to make a joke about her not having as much sex as she needs. He gets kind of neutral response, so he got away with it. Let's see. Now he tries to escalate physically.
Я не
This
понимаю.
hand. This hand. Okay. Let's go. I'm taking you away.
Нужно записать твой номер.
So there you see, the girl's concerned that he wouldn't actually save her number in his phone. So huge indicators of interest. He created a lot of attraction. So there you have it. That's my review of the video from Vitaly Zdorovetsky, born in Russia, lived here in Odessa Mama for a short while. And there you see how he got on picking up girls in Moscow. Pretty impressive, hilarious entertainment. Lots for you to learn from. He makes it look pretty simple. In fact, pretty good. So definitely gets huge respect for me about how he did that, even though that wasn't the purpose of his video. He wasn't trying to prove to you that he can teach you how to pick up beautiful girls in Moscow. I have to say that just one or two things on maybe his body language could have been a little bit better in some of the clips, but very little problems. He could have maybe gone for a little bit hotter chicks than he did. It's definitely way above the average that I see most pickup artists actually hit on, so it's not that it's a criticism per se, but you saw what Adrian Grushka or Adrian G in the last video, he definitely went for a little bit, I think, more attractive women. Then again, maybe Vitaly just had less time to go and approach women. He shot it in one afternoon, it looked like, but definitely there is a lot for you to learn from that video. That's why I do these review videos, so that you can improve your own skill sets. So there you see that he had the real man mindset. He has the killer combo basically because he is Russian American. He can have the assertiveness, the lead, know how to lead, and have those big Russian balls basically. Combine that with the playfulness and being a bit more sophisticated, I think, being from having lived in the West. So definitely very good, very impressive. Actually, he's a pretty good role model if you want to be successful here for dating the way he went about it. Completely free from outcome. He didn't care less. That is a very attractive trait. Once you are anyway needy or anything like that, like you really need the phone number, makes you unattractive. It suggests you don't have abundance, and women, just with pre-selection there, evolutionary biology, they want guys who have abundance, who have been selected by other women. It's called pre-selection. What else you see? He used the two languages so well. I know that learning Russian is a big investment. As I said, I'm going to be developing a solution for that for you. If you don't speak any Russian, you just speak a little bit, it's going to be good for you. Definitely make sure that you're on my mailing list, my free mailing list. I'll be just telling you how to. There's a link down below. Go do it. You can get my free gift, which is 5 biggest mistakes checklist, 5 biggest mistakes made by Western men when they come here to date in Eastern Europe, in countries like Ukraine, Russia, and Belarus. It'll also get you the opportunity to get in on what I'm finishing up at the moment, which is Slavic Seduction Secrets. It is my premier Slavic dating course, and actually I'm going to put a link to that also just down below in any case. So if you're more interested, you're not willing to invest in the Russian stuff because maybe you're not committed to spending, say, 3 to 12 months here per year. I think, I've learned Russian myself, and it is a huge investment of time. I also learned other languages before. This took me 3 times the amount of investment in terms of time. So it's not for those who are not committed, for sure, in terms of learning the language to completion. You don't have to learn it to fluency. You just need to get to like high beginner. Already you will get huge value. You saw how Vitaly used it. He just played between the two. Oh, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing to watch. And that is the big advantage you will have when you come here, because the level of English is quite low in Eastern Europe compared to even Central Europe or definitely Western Europe. So if you come here, it is possible. You can meet, of course, lots of women, especially those under 25 in the big cities. They will speak some English, but if you speak Russian as well, man, it's so powerful, like you saw in that video. In addition, I mean, there Vitaly showing you basically how to generate leads through day game, right? So that's all it is. He just made a few contacts, he walked around. That was my experience when I did it also in that video with James Tusk. If I had a free hour and I got one good lead out of it, walk around St. Petersburg, one general strong connection, but that's all it is. It's a warm lead. Then you need to know what to do next, which is where nearly all Western guys fail, at least in the beginning when they come here to, say, Ukraine, Russia, or Belarus. That's why I designed Slavic Seduction Secrets, so that you can basically take the shortcuts and tap into my 10 years of experience living here in Eastern Europe and dating. Probably at the stage, I don't know how many dates was on, 1,000. I would say at least I made all the mistakes so that you don't have to as a Westerner coming here. And on that course, you're going to learn what to do next after you've done what Vitaly has done, basically generated those warm leads, and that is to create the perfect date and implement that real man Russian mentality. Also, you're going to have to test the girls to see to know if they're gold diggers or not. If you want to date a gold digger, it's your choice, but at least know what you're dealing with. Going to have the gold digger test. Also, how to generate even more leads, not just using day game, or pick up walking on the street. You can do that if you want to. You don't have to do anything that you're not comfortable with whatsoever. You can also just go clubbing, go to bars, create a social circle where you're going to generate other leads and maybe better leads than stopping random women on the street. Also, you have dating apps and whatnot as well. You have lots of options. Basically, they're all just going to generate leads for you. And don't think that because you went on some dating site and suddenly you have 10 matches with 20-year-old supermodels that it's all real, because as any veteran of this region will tell you, any sincere veteran, getting dates here is not the issue. Getting sincere dates is the bigger problem, especially in Odessa Mama, this city. So you're going to do that. Then finally, well, not finally, you also need to know how to escalate and create a relationship. And once you have that relationship, you're going to need to know how to test to see if that particular woman, she may be sincere, beautiful, and all the rest, but you're going to have to test to see if she is a good fit for you personally. And that we have a long-term relationship test for that. And that is fine. So you don't overinvest, you don't invest years of your life, emotions, and probably your finances into the wrong woman, not because she's bad intention or bad or something, just because she's not the right fit for you. So there's a link to that all below in the description to that video. There you go, Vitaly Starovetsky, a guy who spent some time here in Odessa Mama and then moved to the US, to Florida. Definitely, for me, by far the most impressive of the three, and actually it went in reverse order in terms of their professionalist attitude to dating. So number one video, and also having checked around on his channel, whilst there is of course some good things that he can help some people, I did say that in his video exactly what I think he can help genuinely, compared to even Adrian Grushka or Vitaly Starovetsky. Definitely they were better. I think Adrian just went for maybe a little bit better looking, but the interaction with the girls by Vitaly, top. Very, very good, very impressive. Inspires me as well. Молодец, Vitaly. So, that said, as I finish most of these videos, I actually finished a couple of minutes earlier than normal. The sun hasn't completely vanished over the horizon. It is the winter here in Odessa, as you can see on the shores of the Black Sea. Got Odessa Port there behind me, and soon I'm going to be going to some other cities in Ukraine. I'm going to vlog that for you to give you a little bit of a taste what it's like to travel outside of, say, Kiev, Odessa, Lviv. Might even go back to Kharkiv or another city in the center. That's going to be coming up really soon on the channel. Have a blast wherever you are for the rest of the evening. As always, from Scammer Central, Odessa Mama, it's do побачення, до свидания. See you very soon in the next video. Ciao, ciao.
SAR Experience.